Welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast, where today we're going to talk about Jedi Survivor and a bunch of movies.
Nice.
Joining me today is your,
T-Dog.
you're supposed to say your handle for the day.
My handle for the day is just T-Dog for the while. We do rotate. Are we gonna do rotating
All right,
handles?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go with a list then.
Alright, so all right, well, start off with what's going on with this Jedi Survivor stuff.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I know it was coming. I know this was going to happen for some reason in the back of my mind. When I saw I went on Steam and I saw the requirements. Like if you go on Steam and you go the minimum requirements, it's a minimum like 8 gigs VRAM and thing, which is wild. I never really see that on anything. Like on PC, just as minimum. Most I see is the least amount of like 6 something, and I see 4. When I say 8 gigs VRAM, and then you see in the reports where everybody have top end graphics at 3090s, 4090s, and all kind of ridiculousness. And they're below 30 frames per second on 1440p and all kind of things. So it's a real mixed bag in terms of performance on PC.
Mm-hmm.
People on PlayStation 5 though seem to be fine.
Really? Because I heard everybody having trouble.
Well, I watch
like
TikTok
on Xbox and everything.
Everybody's streaming it and they're playing it. Like they have issues. There is bugs, and I think they are well aware of it. Respawn or whatever, and because they had a big update waiting on day one because it was released to testers or whatever prior, like a good 2 weeks or a week prior, and they do a bunch of testing, and they had a big update waiting for day one release. So maybe that fix stuff. But I feel like, I know the PC obviously is just a more mixed bag, obviously for reasons, than PC. But real people streaming it.
I feel like every single. Yeah, I saw people talking about it and streaming it and thing, but I feel like every single major AAA game for the past 2 years has been nothing but bug riddled nonsense.
Yeah. It's
we spoke about the Pokemon disaster the other day.
Yeah. And let's not even go into Cyberpunk.
But even the oh god. I remember when you used to literally just drop through the floor and you'd be like T-posing while you're riding the bike something.
I don't even sure why they even choose to release Cyberpunk on PS4, because that was horrendous. If you watch the video capture of PS4 footage, it's the worst. It's shameful.
Yeah, it was real bad. It truly was. But coming back to Survivor, so you didn't buy it yet or anything?
No. I will give it when I see it stabilize, and I will watch it when I see people playing it with something close to my hardware and playing it, then thing, which I'm sure it'll come, because I don't have any doubts, because I think the original one, Fallen Order, had problems too in the beginning. I think it had similar problems, but they sorted it out because I play Fallen Order and there's no problems at all. So I know they'll get it. So I will just wait. Maybe they'll get a discount too, so it'll be good, because it's a $70 game right now.
Yeah, that's the next thing though, like to have a game that's worth $70 and then launch with such a state.
I don't know. What's the cause of that? Like, how is it such a mixed bag? I don't know. What causing it? What causing game development to be this? Is it just because it's too much? It's too big, the game, and they don't have enough people? Or then?
Oh, you mean the $70 price?
Why? Tag? No. Why we getting these?
The performance issues.
Yeah, the performance issues.
Okay, well, it's kind of like how should I put it? So from what I gather, from what other people said about it who played it, the problem seems to lie in the fact that there is zero optimization actually being done at all, because somebody had pointed out that the game is like 140 gigabytes or something, and it's just raw uncompressed files. So all the textures, all the audio, everything is being loaded and streamed in raw. Like before, you used to have to compress the files. Yes, you used to have to run like real time decompression and things like that. They don't do that no more, and I feel like that is probably one of the strongest symptoms of it. Like if you're not optimizing the actual file size, if you're not optimizing the textures or the like models and thing, like that is where the performance hits could be. Yeah, like we spoke about Unreal Engine, and one of Unreal Engine most powerful feature is the nanite, right? Where that dynamically scales the faces in the view, right? So
Right.
the further away geometry is, the less faces you see,
Detail, like,
and the closer it is to the camera, the more detail you get. And like if you so what that encouraging artists and modelers to just export their whole 60 million polygon count models to the to be used in engine. And if you have a bad optimization in that pathway, well,
right.
trouble. And then you also have to account for things like so you have to account for stuff where things just not optimized full stop, as in things just the performance bad, but it not bad enough to cause a problem in isolation. But then when you stack them on top of each other, you just get a problem. Because I also saw somebody, they did a breakdown, and what happened was that the GPU, the GPU and the CPU not being utilized properly. So it looks like it is trying to like the base model is clearly the console versions, and then the ports not making use of the hardware available to it.
That seems to be what happened. I think that is, all the technical things aside, yes, which is definitely true. But in the minds of a business standpoint, I guess they've been mandated maybe internally to put more emphasis on optimizing obviously the consoles, because we'll want it easier probably, and two, they're probably just looking at numbers, how many people buy games on PlayStation and Xbox as opposed to on Steam or Epic.
And that's the next thing. When people buy stuff on PlayStation and Xbox, they pay in full price for it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Did you see as somebody who's buy on sales? Yeah. Yeah. And of course you have piracy, right?
And
piracy on PC is too. Yeah, that
it really is its own beast.
It will be. I talk about from the business. They're just making decisions on a high level on all games. It have more piracy happening on PC.
Yeah.
Like it's just too easy.
And there's only so much the Nuvo could do.
And it's frustrating, and when you get a game that lockdown like that, it's frustrating players.
Yeah. So I think so like I actually forget what I was gonna ask there, I know I was gonna ask
throw up something on the video too. We were throwing up something on the video too. Oh yes, do that afterwards.
All right, yeah, I was supposed to do that. Nah, I forget No, I have it recording. It's just that I forget to turn on the camera.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
right.
Oops. I forget the screen share. That is the correct
Okay, but yeah. All right, good.
Yeah, second screen. I got to remember to cut all this. Oh,
Yeah.
what going on there, boy? I can see it, but it not rendering. All right.
You need more resources.
Change windows. This is a 2070. This is a 2700X. Like, I don't need more resources. Oh, I think I need to. Yeah. So for some reason okay, this is where we start back. Click.
Right.
For some reason, OBS doesn't collect windows, like the actual window itself. I don't understand why. Oh, not OBS. Discord, because OBS is captured correctly. But we're gonna do this.
Right.
But this is a virtual machine running anyways, so that's probably why.
But the game looked real
So, yeah,
good
I was
though.
gonna
Like
ask,
I watched it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just think the
No,
game
no,
looked
go
real
ahead.
good. The game it looked real good.
I mean,
Gameplay look good. The mechanics
truly
look good.
yeah.
The wildness, like he real brutal in this game. Just be flinging them lightsabers over pelting stormtroopers is just wildness. It's real wild, and he finishes something real bad. So the game real bad. When they fix the bugs, it will be real bad.
I think so too, because I was actually kind of looking to play it, you know. Well, I mean, legally, of course.
Yeah.
But
I
like
will
I was
buy it once
considering
it
it, like I don't really
fixed.
like the Star Wars brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it go on sale and thing, I might probably pick it up. But I not really interested in the Star Wars brand. Like I watched the first 6, and I had a decently fun time. But it's not something I like super into now. Like I mean, I kind of like into it, but not like it's not like I will have a visceral reaction to something that they do, right? There's more of like, oh, new content, cool, we'll watch. Stuff like that, right? But like for this particular game, like all the previews and thing I saw, and I was like they real put effort into it. Like it don't feel like Star Wars, but at the same time, you kind of want to get into the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting world, and he's an interesting character, and what makes it interesting too is because it have a lot of Easter eggs and thing, obviously. So I mean, Star Wars fans love them Easter eggs, but it's an interesting story that have nothing really to do with Skywalker's, because the Skywalker's storyline it is a love hate kind of thing. Now we love the originals, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
These prequels, you know, people hated it at the time, but I mean, it have a kind of you know, cult following now. The prequels, and obviously the sequels is a mixed bag, right? Some people cool with it, some people despise it, whatever. But and they all have, you know, hinge on this Skywalker storyline, which kind of tired, to be honest. So the fact that this is an original story with original characters that very interesting alongside the main Star Wars story is why good. Like, same thing with Mandalorian. Mandalorian have nothing really to do with the main Skywalker storyline, but it's interesting and it's unrelated really to the main Skywalker storyline. So that's why I would say those are probably the 2 most successful Star Wars things right now. Aside from the animated shows, which I'm really into, I want to get into them, but I never really watched them. The new ones and the not too far away ones.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the animated shows is probably the strongest part of Star Wars right now, particularly with the fact that they're bringing up where's the Clone Wars? This Ashoka.
Yeah,
This Ashoka thriller.
and she a live
Oh,
action.
it's Ahsoka, not Ashoka. Okay, that was a whole different word. Right.
It's Ahsoka.
Yeah. I have always pronounced it as Ashoka. But like truthfully, I don't know nothing about this character other than she was really, really cool in the animated Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody just talk about you all the time.
Yeah, she have a nice kind of cult following. But I didn't watch all the series, but I know she have a big fan base and thing, and people
Mm-hmm.
wanted this girl Rosario Dawson. She was like fan cast a long time before, and they did cast
And well,
her,
she
which
is
is
sci-fi
amazing.
royalty, yeah. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you were saying about the casting.
Yeah, she was fan cast, and it was kind of amazing that they pull a fan casting for live action. But yeah, but I never really
I
watched the
mean, when
cartoons.
Disney come calling, yeah, I never watched it either. I just know it was really good. Like, cause
I watched a
everybody wouldn't
few
shut up
episodes, but
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I just didn't have the capacity to start it at whenever it was around. But she was in the episodes of Mandalorian season 2, I think, and something else, maybe Boba Fett.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
I
they
did not
introduced
watch
this live action
Mandalorian.
character. This version of it was in Mandalorian season 1 and 2 is very good, like very good. Season 3, which just wrapped up, I didn't watch the last
I
episode
also
or
heard
last
people
two
talk about it.
episodes. The last season 3 was
Mm-hmm.
kind of mixed. It was kind of all over the place, but it's not bad. Boba Fett was pretty bad in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But Mandalorian is probably the best, strongest thing in
doubt
Star
that.
Wars. Strongest thing in Star Wars right now.
Sounds about right. Because that's why I just hear people talk about the most.
I'm not a super Star Wars fan, but I do like Star Wars a lot. And Star Wars fans love to hate Star Wars is what they do. You know, they like to
Yeah,
quarrel
like,
about it.
but the fact that they hate it so much is what does just continue to drive its wood now.
Yeah. And the further they get away from the Skywalker storyline, just find the story. People tend to like it more. Like Mandalorian and Jedi, the games, Survivor, well, they already have nothing to do with the original shows, so they're pretty well received. If people get a chance to be unhinged, the creators, and write a story, not tethered to Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker and their dramas. And like Battlefront has a good storyline
Like,
too.
I think it. Oh yeah, Battlefront.
Part 2, yeah.
I had it downloaded somewhere. I just never got around to playing it.
I feel like I have it free from Epic or one of them things.
Oh, was it ever
I feel
free?
like it's free.
Because I probably have that too.
It has some animated shows and things like Bad Batch and all thing. Yeah. Well, it's pretty well received. It have an next one to
yeah, I saw
Andor.
that, but I
I think Andor was well received. I did not watch it though, but it's like that is a prequel to Rogue One. If you ever watched Rogue One was pretty good.
I feel like I did
It's
watch
a
it,
slow.
but don't remember nothing from it.
The best thing about Rogue One was the ending with the Darth Vader scene.
I legit remember nothing from that movie.
It was pretty slow. It is about, right? It's the lead up to just before the originals.
Oh, right. And it does end at the very first scene of the original.
When Princess Leia get the plans.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, and then these fellas from the show, who was pretty okay. It's good actors and thing. They didn't know if, obviously, the planet Andor has destroyed. But they was happy to get a show to at least see some more of them.
I mean,
So that's
to
some
Disney's
interesting
credit, right?
characters.
Like building out a whole planet is ultimate content, you know, because you could literally do hundreds of stories on this planet.
Yeah. I have high hopes for the well, I'm optimistic about the next set of Star Wars movies because I can't remember the name of it now, but they're coming out with one that is set in the past.
They
So
announced
it's
it.
like with the 1st. Well, they announced that they're doing it. No, well, it's not gonna be
All
like
right,
a next part. It's gonna be nothing to do with the Skywalker. It's in the past. It's like 200, 300 years or something
Banshee
in the
returning
past.
though.
Yeah, and that's the next one, but we don't know anything about that one. But they was supposed I don't know if it's Acolyte or something like that.
Acolyte is not a game.
Nah, they was supposed to make a movie, The Acolyte. Or is that a TV series
No,
now?
it's
Okay.
Eclipse. Oh nope, this one is the game.
It's a game.
Honestly, it have so much of this Star Wars stuff. I don't even know where to begin
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
anymore.
That stuff. I don't even know. They're supposed to even be making over what is this by Night Republic? They're supposed to like fully remake it. What kind of stuff? Yeah, see, like they announced it big and bold for PlayStation, and but all we see is just that. Yeah, this would take away men from their
yeah,
lives.
this game been on for a long time.
Yeah, when it do come, well,
Because
that's
this was the this was the old game, and
that very
the
old
one
game.
that everybody still play.
Yeah, they do. I feel like it was also like it was a
Like,
mobile and thing and all kind of thing.
I don't remember if it was on mobile or not, but I just see it all the time on like the search and thing. It is regularly chat. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's clearly good because
it's a kind of RPG elements and thing.
yeah, I think it was like a MMO style game. Well, that's basically an RPG, yeah. So speaking about RPGs, we could probably section off into the other movie section. Which one we doing first?
Yeah. We had two big releases on the that are on digital video. We'll call it that. That's where I watch mine. Yeah. Digital video. Well, we talk about Quantumania first. You watch them? Did you get to watch
so
it?
I watched well, actually, I only watched a piece,
okay.
But I did watch all the content around it. So all the I watched a bunch of recaps. I watched the teaser breakdown. I mean the trailer breakdowns and all kind of thing. Not the trailer breakdown, the actual movie breakdowns. So
you know it end and thing, right?
But you watched the whole thing, so yeah, I know how it end and thing. So why don't you start off? Because I have something to say about it.
Well, okay. Well, first, the internet is a real mixed bag again. I mean, some people really hate this movie, and some people it's fine. And for me, I would say it's fine. It's not fantastic. It's not anything superb. I have one problem with it though, and it's a good Ant-Man movie, right? I mean, I walk into it thinking, okay, it's an Ant-Man movie. Compose yourself. This is not going to be, Endgame or a Spider-Man or anything like that, right? It's Ant-Man Part 3. But was probably my problem is that this was the introduction of Kang, right? Who's supposed to be, I don't know if he's going to be Thanos level. Well, at least how they made him. They framed Thanos in the first 3 phases. but it sounds like they want him to be the next big bad. And in this movie, it came after this fight with Antman with Scott Lang versus Kang, and Antman win in a fist fight with this guy, Jonathan Majors. That he
But you
should
see,
know
he
win
had the
that
power
fight.
of family. You understand?
I mean, even if it was like they frame it so that it was some science, like maybe Hope do something, or they set him up, or they trick him, and it was it was that, and they trap him or something. Okay, we'll let him slide, but it didn't hardly have any consequence out of this movie, and it should have had more. They should have got hurt more from him, and definitely in a fist fight, he did not win against Jonathan Majors. But
Well,
yeah,
I
that was
mean,
my biggest
he
problem with
just
this.
that
Yeah, he
good,
should
bro.
not have. Yeah. Ant-Man
Yeah.
is not that good. He's not that good, especially in fist fights. He's not gonna win that. So that was wrong. But the movie was a fun time and whatever. But Jonathan Majors' Kang is pretty good. Pretty good. He's a good Kang, and I will see how this continues because of all the stuff going on with him in his personal life.
Yeah. So that was the thing that I like. You're right. He is a really good Kang. I feel like just his presence alone is pretty good for the character, because he does have a significant amount of range, and like in the post credit scene, you just see like the 500 million versions of him,
Yeah.
and for what it's worth, they do look and feel like different characters, even from that small snippet. So kudos to him. He clearly embodying things. But well, obviously I watched a couple of reviews and I watched a couple breakdowns, right? And one of the plot points that I feel like is a very one of the more oh, I should put it this way. I want to say it's like an annoying plot point, but it's not really annoying. It's just like so the girl, right? The child. Was she named Hope?
Cassie
She named Hope?
is the child. Hope is girlfriend.
Cassie. I don't know who whoever that is, right? So the daughter, she is very much like the flag smashers, the border people from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
She is very much like that. She has that same I guess activism is the word they want to use there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. She woke.
yeah. And throughout the movie, she went after everybody for it. And like I mean, I understand what they're trying to say with that character and that plotline, but I feel like given the fact that every other younger character has done that, it just feels like, they keep hammering this, like that's the real important thing. Because we know for a fact that those other organizations, the Flag Smashers, that whole thing with America Chavez, I don't know she name in that show, the Doctor Strange. I don't know who she name is. But like all of those whole subplots, it's going to come back in the Kang Dynasty movie that they have. And that's the name of the movie, ain't?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's gonna come back at that point. I saw that and I feel like it kind of took away from it a little bit.
I'm right.
Because as I say, I watch clips as well, and also there was a point where the show was supposed to end, and like it felt that it was ended, like when he sacrificed himself, and then immediately in the next scene he was saved.
Yeah.
Because I watched that whole extended clip, right? Because I saw somebody mention it in a review, so I went and because I have the streaming service where I could watch it, right? So I went and I watched that piece of clip, and it is pretty jarring that it's literally like oh, he going to die. He sacrificed himself for the greater good of the universe, and then immediately he's saved, and you're just sitting there like, okay, so what was that whole build up for? Like, what we waste all that time for? You know, why
Yeah,
just didn't save him immediately?
it had no consequence in the end of it. I mean, even if they didn't want to kill him for whatever reason, they have a plan for him in a future movie or something. They should have keep him down there. He should have been trapped, and they should have be They should have be like, wait, we face Kang, we incur a loss. We maybe Scott didn't die, but we lost him. They up in the real world, and he down in the quantum realm, and trapped or something. Like they should have trapped him at least. But the fact that they all happy, to me, it diminished Kang a bit, and he not that weak. I know he should have been a bigger threat in the end. I mean, we know because we're nerds and we know about what he's do, and we know about the group of Kangs and thing, the council of Kangs and thing, but ultimately, I feel like the imps him a little bit. They nerfed him. Kang.
Yeah, it really feel like he wasn't like it didn't feel like he was this was his movie basically. It kind of just felt like it was here's the introduction to Kang. This is why Kang is who is Kang, you know, this is why he's dangerous.
And it seems that this version of Kang in this movie, who this one is going to be the main Kang, like is the big main Kang. I don't think it's going to be one of the three in the end, because they're too weird, right? And the one from Loki, if you watch the Loki movie, is he gone, right? That version gone, and so we get that version, and that was like a introduction to him and he who remains. So the fact that they nerf what seems to be the main one, you know, if it's somehow they was able to retell the story with a different version. And we know that the big main one is still out there looming, but you know, this is the one that they all couldn't fight, right? They all were trying to kill him, the other Kangs that is, and the best they could do was to rig his machine and trap him in the quantum verse. That was the best they could do. You know, all these Kangs who supposedly real bad, that's the best they could do. Trick him and trap him in the quantum verse. Then Antman beat him in a fist fight. So that was kind of hilarious to me.
That is, because you set him up to be this big bad kind of thing, and then is the equivalent of just like you're flicking away your ant, basically. Ironically.
But the ant scene was pretty good. With the
giant thing,
the intelligent ants who managed to become a super civilization because of the movie. I like them kind of storylines. So them kind of weirdness, I think that's my favorite kind of Marvel movies, when they do weird stuff, when they leave, you know, Earth. And so that was good. That this whole thing really happened in the quantum realm, and it wasn't really in Earth. So that was good. I like weird movies like that. But yeah,
like I kind of well, I mean, obviously, with all this stuff going on with him, we don't really know what's gonna happen with the Kang dynasty and stuff like that. We don't know if he'll get recast. We don't know if they will just rewrite the whole thing. But I kind of like, I want to see how far he going to go, the character, right? Because I mean, Thanos was cool and all, but like we had to raise the stakes, you know? Because I mean, Thanos already happened. So like, how far are we going to go? We're gonna kill off all the Avengers. We're gonna start the young Avengers. I mean, technically, that's what we're doing, huh? Like every movie, every movie has introduced a younger counterpart to the characters. So in Doctor Strange, that girl is the younger counterpart. This other character, well, I mean, obviously, the he daughter here, Ant-Man, is the younger character. It have
Hawkeye, how I want to.
Yeah, I want to say hockey, but that's DC. Um, they all have their younger counterparts. They all have their
Yeah.
the young Avengers, but like the fact that they were willing to like go this distance with the character, like that is what I really want to see. But given how they treat some of the other characters, Doctor Strange in particular, I feel like it's probably not going to I probably feel like it's going to fall flat, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really want to know what happened.
Yeah. I hope they figure it out because I
I
feel
guess
like they just kind of
I hope
they're
so
just
too.
spinning right now. Yeah. Sounds like they kind of just
Well, I mean, they
trying to
had to
find
spin
their
right
footing.
now. Like,
Yeah. They're trying to find their footing
mhm.
still, and we don't already have a clear direction. And who's the next? Who's the next Tony Stark? Who's the next Robert Downey Jr. as well? Because in films, you just
Oh,
need
that
one
was
of
the
those,
other
right?
thing. Riri Williams in Black Panther.
Like we only see a little bit of she, right? None of the young people have the charisma yet, so I wouldn't say any of them.
Mm-hmm.
We still kind of playing off the strengths of the old cast, right? Benedict
I mean, for
Cumberbatch.
now.
But no, yeah, well, because the movies truthfully have been pretty weak, apart from Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was pure nostalgia. And Black Panther, that movie probably was a rewrite because, fortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed, so they had to come up with something. To me, that's what that movie felt like. It was not a bad movie, and I really liked the Nemo. Nemo was pretty good. I like what they did, how they told him. It was very good. But the movie was pretty nothing. Nothing really happened. But it had to happen as well. So because
that was literally. It's literally what I said after watching that movie. I was like, listen, it's a good movie, great stuff, new introductions, but nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Nothing happened. But like that was why I feel like they didn't kill off Ant-Man, because I feel like he was supposed to die there in the quantum realm, and I feel like that's why they didn't kill him off. Because like, I guess they wanted to start killing off characters, but like, yeah,
they hold him back now.
I feel
because
like
they say
at the very last minute they decide.
Yeah, because they can't just kill off all the main character. Because you know what, like Robert Downey Jr. he gone for a while. Chris Evans gone for a while. Hawkeye, he died. Scarlett Johansson, I think she said she good. The Guardians people, they good. They go.
Yeah, because they didn't want to pay she.
Yeah. So I think most of them big names, and I talk just about names and getting people into cinema, they go on. So I mean, they need to hold on to the couple of them that Chadwick Boseman would be a good one, to, bring people to the cinema, but
he was always a blockbuster kind of.
Yeah, and I feel like they were setting up for him and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange to like be the new, like the mains to take way into the new generation. I mean, they would hold the hands of whoever is the new cast, and then at some point, hand it over. But for the next 5 years, they would be around. But
yeah, so like that is also something that I feel like I notice is that Spider-Man's supposed to be much more important than what he currently is. Because I mean, and you obviously know the whole story of him and Avengers and thing. At one point, he was leader of the Young Avengers. He was very important to the main Avengers cast. All the characters inside.
And he's supposed and he's a good fit.
Spider-Man. Yeah. But like, I guess that whole deal with Sony still kind of had him a little antsy.
Yeah, so that is a difficult thing with him, with he in particular. But there's which I believe there's fight hard Marvel that is to get him back, but he's a little more technical than everybody else because of the licensing with Sony. And oh my God, Sony! You see them making a Kraven movie. And they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
have
saw
Rhino
that
in it and thing.
earlier,
You had pictures
but
on the
I have no
internet.
idea who Kraven is.
I don't know either. I feel like it have a person, but I
Okay,
just don't
no,
even know who it is. I saw it had a
I think
rhino,
IGN had
rhino in it.
I saw IGN had a post about it in there. Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
I don't know who this dude is.
I don't know who that is.
Mm,
Don't seem to want to
well,
tell
we'll
us
find out
either.
who. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
No idea who that is.
No idea who that. I feel like I know who this is.
Boy, I can.
He is
Oh, really?
this character Quicksilver. And that's who it is? Yeah, Quicksilver.
He was from
Wow.
Ultron?
Why did they cast him to be?
Well,
Yeah, it was
that
Ultron.
is
He was in.
wild. Yeah. Well, that is wild. Okay.
Why Marvel let them do that though? Oh,
I think Marvel do
Sony
even.
own the proper rights to them.
Anybody who from the Spider-Man comics,
And
so Spider-Man, what is called it by all Spider-Man villains belong to Sony.
owned by Sony. Oh
The movie
God.
rights.
I didn't realize that.
So that's what they're doing. That's why they had Morbius, Venom. Those are all Spider-Man villains, and they just pick Kraven. I don't know. They pull Vulture back
Honestly,
into the
I kinda
Morbius
want to see
universe.
if they can do that. Oh my God! Hey, that was a.
This could be
the best part of all that.
This could be our next terrible movie. I don't know. So like the Joker
without a
movie
doubt.
was interesting because it was just an interesting show. Like it's just an interesting story. Nothing more than that. But for them to try to build a whole universe of Spider-Man villains without really having Spider-Man in it, not really interesting to me. But we know Spider-Man is somewhere
Well, I
out
mean,
there
to be
because
fair, that's what Joker did.
Morbius and them. Yeah, well, I mean, it's different for me in
They
Joker
kept
because
mentioning.
yeah, it's like we know it's just a story they want to tell, and it was somewhat interesting. But in what they're doing with Morbius, Venom, and pulling Vulture in, and now they're gonna pull Kraven in, like they're trying to build a whole Spider-Man villain team without really showing we Spider-Man. But he there because they talk about him in the Morbius movie in the ending and thing too. You know, they say like we're going for Spider-Man, but it makes no sense to me, to be honest. It seems, and they're not that interested in the movies themselves. So I mean, if there was good movies I mean, that'd be different. But there's weak movies. So that's I guess is the problem. It's not good movies.
Yeah,
I don't know if Kraven will be any better either. So I can't really see it being that much.
I think Kraven will be better, and I'll tell you why it will be better. Because I mean, Morbius set the bar really low, but I feel like the fact that they specifically said it's going to be an R-rated movie, I feel like they're going to pull out the stops for this because Sony wants another Spider-Man, and they know that they have Disney on their heel, and they're going to have to surrender Spider-Man sooner than they'd like to. So I think that's what they're just trying to get something else that could replace Spider-Man. But imagine if they did do a John Wick style show. I mean, we have 4 John Wick movies and multiple spin-offs on the horizon. So
yeah,
who knows?
The Spider-Man Across the Multiverse, whatever it's called, looking very good though. The animated movie coming out just now.
Without a doubt.
That looking very good.
That looking mad beyond measure.
Part 1 was very good.
There's absolutely no way
equally very good.
Like, it is astonished me that they're able to do that amount of work with the animation. Like, legit. Like, look at this. God
Yeah,
damn.
and there's change
Kudos to the people
styles
who
and things
actually
depending on which
animated
ones
this.
it is and which universe. So it's all pretty good. Like they have real
Mm-hmm.
love into making it.
Yeah, and I feel like that was the real deciding factor for Miles Morales as a whole. The people who made it, like, they really loved Spider-Man, both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So,
Yeah.
and it showed throughout the entire run of the original Into the Spider-Verse. You felt nothing but complete passion for all the characters. You've like, no matter, like, if this was done by any other team, you would you, you would see the cracks in it. You'd see how, oh, they do like this character or they do like that character or something, but not with Into the Spider-Verse. Like, every single frame was just, this is Spider-Man. We're going to get to do Spider-Man, and we're gonna love it. And yet they prove it, and they're doing the same thing here with this, where every single character is just passion true and true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Peter B. Parker was our
But
other
speaking
person
of
at the
passion,
Peter B. Parker. This version of the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
oh yeah, this version of him was pretty good. He was kind of a mess in last movie, but it's looking like he's gonna be normal this time. But speaking of that, I mean, we have the other thing.
So you got to watch this one,
I actually did
right?
on the day it came out.
Right.
I mean, well,
I
this
watched
was
it too.
this was only like an hour, but
Yeah.
so, like, all right, let me start. Like, what do you think? First of all,
It was very Power Rangers to me. In terms of, like, they didn't try to modernize it, which is good, I think. It was I mean, so if you're as somebody who watched the originals, I guess I'm not the biggest Power Ranger fan, but I did watch a good bit of the early ones up to like Zero or something.
so like,
it was just like that, and
oh yeah, that was a lot. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was good. It was good. It is Power Rangers. If you're somebody who don't know about Power Rangers and they just went and watched this, they will want to know what the hell is this. But yeah, it was good, I think.
We didn't like.
Somebody acting for the Trini daughter was a little Gen Z. A little, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but that's to be expected. Yeah. So somebody it was, and I probably just be a little more hashy because I have no nostalgic value for her because she's not from the originals. But yeah, it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give this movie a 7 out of 10.
I'd give it a 6, but I have my reasons for it. Okay, so I mean, obviously, this is like my lifeblood, right? For like, I think like 6 or 7 years of my whole life, I watched nothing but okay, that's a lie. I watched all. So I watched everything from Mighty Morphin go right up to, I think it was right before Disney bought it. Because when Disney bought it, they took it to Disney Channel, and we, for some reason, is collectively not talking about it because apparently Disney still owns the those series, so you don't really get nothing out of it. It has some weird legal thing going on there, right? But I think it was good, and it felt like it was a proper evolution of Saturday morning cartoon into a more modern, into a more modern context. Like, I like how it was framed. I like how it was directed. I feel like it stayed true to the original while also letting the characters flex a little bit more. I didn't really like the story particularly because I felt that, well, I know that there is another like back in the day they had a tribute for her before, right? This is not the first time we've had this tribute. And the whole thing about it is that the show, like I understand they wanted to introduce a new Yellow Ranger. They wanted to expand that, right? But I feel like we spend so much time on dealing with that loss that it kind of, like I'm trying to say this in the most kind way possible, right? Like it's cool that they got to do that for her. It's cool that the character gets a proper send off in universe. That's nice. That's cool, right? I like that. It's that I felt like they they spend so much time on it, you know. Again, this is a real life death that they're working through, so I understand. But I feel like that was, it was a little heavy, but at the same time it was kind of, oh no, we talking about this again, you know. But I will give the show the credit where it did not, like, by the time the show ended, you was asking yourself, oh, is it done? Okay, cool. Like it didn't overstay its welcome or nothing, so that was cool. This Megazord fight, however, was atrocious and should probably be wiped from creation. I would like to submit this as a crime against humanity. This is a war crime that happened here. Look at that.
Yeah. So I just chalked this up to just it being ridiculous, and it was supposed to be ridiculous.
No, like I don't mind the ridiculous fighting, you know. It's just that the Zord itself was bad. Like look at it. In fact, let us compare, right? This is the original one, right? Let me go back into the thing. Mighty Morphin. We'll just pick out a random Megazord fight, right? Like like okay, so this is the very first ever one, right? But
Yeah.
like the I'm gonna skip ahead so you could actually, you know, like watch the transmission, the best part.
So did they
Yeah.
use the same footage, or did they kind of recreate it for the ones and
No,
the
this is
new one?
brand new footage. That Megazord is fully 3D, created by somebody hired by Netflix.
Right. But they tried to
Is
mimic
this
the
the proper
original.
Megazord? Anyways, they did try to mimic it, and again, kudos to them. Is Megazord battles is a very hard thing to do, and the only people to have ever gotten it right outside of Super Sentai is Pacific Rim, right? So trying to replicate Pacific Rim on a TV show budget, I mean, you can see it clearly had issues, right?
Yeah.
And like again, I'm not asking for Pacific Rim cinematic experience murder, right? But like it clearly was missing something, and that is actually a problem that I've noticed with a lot of animated shows in general. Like when you go from 2D to 3D, or in this case, from a physical fight 3D fight. Because look at this, right?
It's
This is
lose
the very
something,
first
yeah.
fight, but look at how much impact. Yeah, like look at like the movements was fluid. It felt like it had weight, because I mean there's two people fighting in a suit, you understand, on a set. But like it felt it like it had weight, and like when you see that Megazord fighting once and always, it was like, oh no, this is a very bad game on itch.io. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's something a first year student would do in the animation / game development course, you know. Which I mean, it sounds really hard. I mean, I can't do that.
What do you think
So,
they should do? You think they should
kudos
go
to the
ahead and
actual
make?
animators.
You think they should go and get the suits and try to do this? You think that would be better?
I don't know. You see, that's the thing, right? Because the suit itself is like a very specific okay, so the tokuhatsu, which is what the suits are, right, is a very, very like it Japanese thing, and it is rooted in cultural in inverted commas, right? But the fact that now this is another thing that I want to talk about, where the Power Rangers team has been actively hostile towards the Super Sentai influence in the past for a couple of years. And I think that was one of the main reasons why they chose to animate the setting, the Megazord fight, and not use actual suits. But to be fair, using the actual suits and getting all the fireworks, because I mean, it's fireworks, eh? Like when you fight, it's actual
Yeah.
fireworks that going off. Like, is that would be additional cost? And I think they was trying to keep costs down because Hasbro wasn't too sure if this is what they wanted. You know, it was kind of something that they wanted to use as a springboard. It was like, and you know, I mean, it's basically like every company ever is like, we want maximum return with minimal investment. And the truth is that fight sequence probably cost them $5,000 or $6,000 at most. Because I mean, obviously they're not using union animators. They're not using properly paid people. Netflixers do that all the time. Power Rangers notorious for using non-union actors, firing actors who attempt to request better pay and better
Yeah.
set protections and thing. So they probably was cutting costs there, and the amount of money would cost like hire stunt actors and to hire and to get all of those extra things. I mean, it's gonna add cost on top of it, huh? So yeah, I think that is ultimately what it came down to. The fact that they spent a lot of money to bring back the cast. They spent a lot of money to like to actually shoot proper, I guess for lack of a better word, cinematic. And they did have suits, eh? It's just that fight wasn't it, bro. That's all I could say.
Yeah. I don't even think I was paying attention to the fight, to be honest. So yeah, it probably was pretty weak.
Like even the dialogue and thing was pretty fine. I find, like I expected that cringe level dialogue. Like that's what Power Rangers is known for. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. That is what it is, right? And there was a scene where Billy actually stabbed Roborita like through the chest, and it was like, bro, what the hell? You remember that scene?
I think so. A little dark.
Yeah, like that was bad, but it was cool. You know, it was clear that the team wanted to take a certain amount of risk. So it was clear that they wanted to do something, and I feel like if they took this format and they carried it to like CW or something, I think it will do really well as part of like the Green Arrow blocker CW shows. I feel like, as much as I hate to say this, I feel like a darker, more mature, in inverted commas, Power Rangers would do really well. It's just that it's a children's cartoon. I mean, a children's show, and just turning everything into this gritty neon, everybody is bad. We are all oppressive people. We kill each other. You know, you don't think all that kind of thing. Like, you don't need to do that for every single property in the universe. But if Power Rangers go ahead and do that, I could see it actually working. You know, even if I probably wouldn't like it. But Cosmic Fury did well. So, well, the previous one, Cosmic Fury.
Current one.
That one did well. Yeah, it's gonna air later this month. Not later this year, sorry.
The graduate reboots will do it, like, because these people is people my age, so they watched this when they was 10 years and nowadays mid-30s and things. So they into that. And they just like nostalgic things, but they also don't want to watch, you know, going back to watch the originals is a hard watch. The other day I tried to watch an episode of Xena. It was real hard to watch. You know, so but that was something I had like as a child. So the truth is a lot of these shows don't stand up well. So I mean, however they can bring it to the modern audience. Because the truth is nobody really making anything new. There's only a handful of really new content out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is, and they're not
Everything
taking
is
chances on new properties as
nah.
much as they used to. But overall, I think I gotta say I feel like it was good. Megazord was just bad. Dialogue was cringy, but that's to be expected. Uh, I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do. Unfortunately, we'll never get this character back for
Yeah.
reasons obvious.
Mhm.
So that'll be another hour long special of having to deal with this. Don't know if I'll be ready for that, but I guess we'll see. But I'll tell you what though, I will miss seeing them try to adapt these off-brand Japanese footage from like 30, 40, 50 years ago. Man, that was a cool Zord though. I completely forgot how cool that white Tiger Zord was.
The other day I was reading, well, not reading, but watching YouTube into the history of Power Rangers, and there's like, it's because of Spider-Man. They said that
Yes, it is.
because the Japanese Spider-Man that had a spider robot, and that's when kind of pick up afterwards into Power Rangers, and that's when Hasbro, whoever, Saban, get the go ahead to make Power Rangers. But that's pretty wild.
Wait,
I think this
I can't show
Spider-Man's
that.
supposed to come into the
Isn't
across
gonna get
the.
striked.
I think this Spider-Man's supposed
Yeah,
to
he's
have
gonna
a
be there.
appearance.
They had announced.
That's
They
why.
had announced it when the show had when the sequel had gotten picked up that we was
Yeah.
gonna get Japanese Spider-Man. It have this really awesome clip, boy. I hope we don't get pulled for it. But I'll show it anyways. Just thing. Have you ever seen this clip?
I think so.
You seen it, right?
I'm trying to remember. I see a lot of this. Oh yeah! Wow.
Maybe you just pull out the machine gun and start booing down people. Like, that's Spider-Man. Why use spider webs when you can just kill them?
Well, it's
Oh,
my
God.
weakness.
My only weakness, bullets. Like if he don't have a gun in across the Spider-Verse. But yeah, it is 100% Power Rangers Super Sentai. It's all because of this this Japanese Spider-Man. But it's important to note that Marvel kind of let the studio, I think it was Toei.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't remember who the character studio was. They let the studio kind of run wild. So a lot of the
Yeah.
ideas was theirs. So I'm pretty sure that was some random Japanese person was like, you know what would be
Yeah,
cool
robots.
about this TV show about this man who does swing? A machine gun. Yeah, like it is always nice to know that Spider-Man is the reason why we have big mech. All we Gundams, all we Power Rangers, everything. It's like Spider-Man.
That's wild. That was a different time.
It truly is. Yeah, I mean we're never gonna get back. So like I was
Well,
thinking about that the other day. How? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that it's probably because back then Marvel, I think they were struggling. Like they wasn't $1 million companies or whatever. So that they had to sell. That's probably why they sell some rights to Spider-Man to this Japanese company, just because they need money. And comics was not. It's go up and down in terms of how profitable it used to be. Because comics itself was what they was to make money from back then. And but so maybe when Marvel takes some hits in current Marvel, that is, maybe that will make them struggle a bit more and make better content.
Who knows? Maybe.
They had it too good.
Yeah. But also that we passed the hour mark there. So what are you calling it?
Yeah, we can wrap it.
Alright, cool. So that was this episode of You Making Joke. where we talk about our tastes in movies. Join us next time for absolutely nothing, because we don't know what we're going to talk about yet.
Comment below if you have
How was that for a sign off? Comment.
Comment
Wait,
below.
just comment below if what?
If you have any ideas
Yeah, just
for
comment
what we
anything.
should talk about, just comment anymore. Yeah.
Word.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, dogs.
All right. Lasers.